Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here in one of our downtown studios. As you can see, if you're watching, if you're listening, we thought we'd cue you in there. And we have the Honorable Supreme Court Justice, right? Associate Justice Richard Bernstein with us today, and we're talking about a myriad of things. We talked about how you kind of got into law. Now let's talk about the physical piece of your life, because I'll tell you, my family's first introduction to you was my wife giving you directions on the Riverwalk.
That's so cool.
Because she was out running with her friends.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I love it. I'm just glad that I wasn't in the river. So yeah, when you're blind, if you're on ground, that's actually a good day.
Yeah, there you go. But you are very physically active, and you've done a lot of things.
I have. I love athletics. I have been blessed. I've had the opportunity of completing 25 marathons.
Wow.
And I've also been blessed to have had the opportunity of completing a full Ironman competition, which is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, 26.2 mile run. Takes 2 years of training. You gotta want it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, I only did one marathon, but the taxi cost was so high.
Right, those 26 miles that you have to drive the city, I can only imagine. It takes such patience too.
Actually, interesting little sidebar, I ran the Boston Marathon the year that Rosie Ruiz jumped on the subway.
Oh, that was a big year.
And
that was a huge year. And then she wound up winning it unintentionally.
She won it, and then they took it away the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the story behind it was she really just wanted to have bragging rights. She didn't want to win, she just wanted to finish. And candidly, that's what most people, when you do a marathon, all you really want to do is finish. And that's why I love it. It's all about endurance and strength and passion and purpose and mission and that idea that, okay, I gotta really want this.
Okay, so as long as we're talking about passion, I'm reluctant to do this, right? But I'm going to turn it over to you to talk, because you are very passionate about your thoughts about COVID and how we handle it.
Absolutely, and I think that it's essential. My goal right now is I am on a campaign to get everyone to come back in person. All events, all activities must be in person at all times. It is time for people to turn off Zoom and rip off the face mask. And we must focus on in person. This is absolutely critical. We cannot, under any circumstances, become a society where we do things virtually and we allow for Zoom to be our default. Anyone or any place that I can go to talk about the virtues of in person. We need businesses to focus on getting people immediately back into their offices. We need large-scale conferences. We need conventions. We need the world to reopen. I want to see our cities filled and teeming with people. I want to hear trains rolling. I want to see buses on the streets. I want our downtown areas to be teeming with life and energy and spirit and vitality. It is absolutely essential that we focus exclusively on in person. Now, that's not to say that Zoom can have its place, but this is the most important part of this, right? The default must always be in person. The accommodation should be that people can perform on Zoom. If there's I've always done, my passion's been disabilities, right? The way you do disability rights is you accommodate the individual. But the key here is that I have to say it over and over again, the default must be always, without exception, in person. If there's an individual or a person who requires an accommodation, then we accommodate that individual by allowing them to appear virtually. But the rest of the world must be in person, period, end of story, no more discussion.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Now, one of the reasons you're down here is because you and I argued a little bit about this, because I'm worried about a couple of caveats. We don't have 100% vaccination, and I know you're in favor of vaccination.
Absolutely. I am part of what I would say, the 70% of the U.S. population who is vaccinated and done. And I think there's a whole category of us, which is the people who are vaccinated. When I say vaccinated, I mean fully vaccinated. Triple vaxxed. Triple vaxxed, baby. Triple vaxxed.
Me too.
But the idea is that I'm triple vaxxed, but I'm done.
Yeah.
Meaning that the vast majority of people are triple vaccinated and now they are done. This is concluded for them. They wish to move on. At the end of the day, people have to be able to make their own decisions and their own choices. They have to be able to decide what works best for them. And ultimately, I have to say, in person is absolutely critical.
Yeah.
And for people like me who are blind, you know, the world functions around people. The entire way that I can't use Zoom. Zoom isn't something I can use.
Well, that's
I
true.
can't participate on Zoom, right?
Yeah, it's
so
true.
here's the key to this, right? What is important for folks to know is throughout the entire pandemic, I was sitting in an empty courtroom by myself, having a court technician next to me helping me to use Zoom. We've got to be in person. It's how God created us. It's the way that we're meant to do. And it's simply time to move on. Bring our cities, bring our communities back to life. It's the way that we are designed and meant to ultimately live. Let's make it happen in person, always.
All right, Richard Bernstein is with us. I think you picked up on his passion. He's a passionate liver, as a matter of fact. It's kind of nice. Richard Bernstein, of course, Supreme Court Justice. And we are going to be right back. I'm Chris Holman on the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network.